Hi everyone, it's Roo from the King's Roost, and today, in honor of National Granola Bar Day on January 21st, I'm going to show you a simple recipe for chocolate peanut butter granola bars using only 6 ingredients. So let's start with the oats. For this recipe, you're going to need 3 cups of rolled oats. You can buy the oats in the store, or for maximum flavor, freshness, and nutrition, you can always roll your own if you have an oat roller. To get 3 cups of rolled oats, you need about 1.5 cups or just a smidge more than 1.5 cups of raw oat groats. What I like about this recipe is that it's a no-bake recipe. However, you do have the option of toasting your oats beforehand if you like the taste of toasted oats, like I do. If you do decide to toast them, preheat your oven to 350 degrees, spread them out on a cookie sheet, and bake them for 15 minutes if they're store-bought oats, or if you've rolled your own, you're going to need at least 20 to 25 minutes because of the higher moisture content of fresh oats. While baking, you can mix them up a couple of times to make sure they cook evenly. Now that you've got your rolled oats, here's what else you're going to need. 2 cups of pitted dates that we're going to chop up, 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter, 1/2 cup of honey or maple syrup if you want, 2 cups of raw almonds, sliced or whole, and 1 cup of chocolate chips. You can use any other kind of chips you want, butterscotch, yogurt, or leave them out altogether. So grind up your dates. If your processor's small like mine, you may have to do it in small batches, and you can grind them until they reach a point where they ball up into a little ball. That should usually be enough. Your honey and peanut butter will mix better with your other ingredients if you warm them up gently in a saucepan first. And now it's time to mix together all your ingredients. Throw all your ingredients into a big mixing bowl and start stirring it up. You may find after a while that it's going to be easier just to use your clean hands and get in there and mix everything up by hand. Line a casserole dish or a cookie sheet with parchment paper or plastic wrap if you want, and then dump your ingredients in and start flattening them out. Put it in an 8x16 casserole dish or something pretty close to that size, and just flatten it out with your fingers until it covers the whole bottom of the pan. Smush it, make it nice and even. You can use your hands and feel for any overly thick spots, make sure it goes all the way to the edges. And I like to sometimes use a loaf pan to push down because it has a nice flat bottom. Now we're going to put it in the fridge or freezer for half an hour to let it set. Transfer your granola bar onto a cutting board. That's the great thing about the parchment, and especially if you leave enough hanging over, you can lift it right out. So we're going to set the parchment aside because I have a really cool use for it for later. And right now, I like to use a cleaver, but any knife will do. I usually cut mine into about 30 bars for this recipe. Remember that parchment paper? Now's when you bring it back. Cut it up and add a bit of string, and it makes a nice little wrap so your granola bars look classy for dinner parties, gifts, or bake sales, or what have you.